Welcome, Cornerstone families, and thank you so much for joining us again. We are so excited to have you this week, and we have a couple of announcements for you. The first being, if you don't have the Family Ministry Glide app, be sure to check it out. It's on our Facebook page, and you can find it in a lot of other places, but make sure you get that because it helps organize just all the videos that you see, and it helps you get the curriculum a little bit faster. So that's our first announcement. The second one is...
Coming at you next, worship. And Bible story.
Jesus is my hero. Jesus is my friend. He made a difference in the world, and I wanna be like him. 'Cause I have 2 hands and feet and a heart that beats. I'm gonna use what I have to make a difference. It wasn't about what he could get. He was all in so he could give. And oh, I wanna be, I really wanna be. Oh, 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 I wanna be like Jesus. Oh, I wanna be, I really wanna be. Oh, 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 I wanna be like Jesus. Yeah. Jesus is our Savior. He's the King of the world. And still he came to the earth just so he could serve. He had 2 hands and feet and a heart that beats. He used all he had to make a difference. Jesus always put others first. That's a lesson for us that we should learn. And oh, I wanna be, I really wanna be. Oh, 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 I wanna be like Jesus. Oh, I wanna be, I really wanna be. Oh, 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 I wanna be like Jesus. Yeah. I really, really wanna be just like Jesus. Yeah, I really, really wanna be just like Jesus. Oh, I wanna be, I really wanna be. Oh, 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 I wanna be like Jesus. Oh, I wanna be, I really wanna be. Oh, 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 I wanna be like Jesus. And oh, I wanna be, I really wanna be. Oh, 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 I wanna be like Jesus. Oh, I wanna be, I really wanna be. Oh, 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 I wanna be like Jesus. Yeah.
Hey guys, thanks so much for worshiping with us today. Now it's time for our story.
The Bible. It's 66 books of history, stories, letters, and poetry that fit together to form God's one big story. The epic adventure of how He created us and loves us so much that He made a way to rescue us. As we travel through the Bible, from Genesis to Revelation, we discover people who met God and found their lives changed forever. And now for an amazing story, inspired by the books of Matthew, Luke, and Acts.
When Jesus returned to life, roller coasters hadn't been invented yet. But as far as his friends were concerned, they might as well have been living on one wild coaster ride. Peter and Matthew might have gone over the whole story one more time as they walked the dusty roads from Galilee back towards Jerusalem.
Remember how it started? Jesus does all these miracles. thousands of people gathered to listen to him.
And we hear God's voice saying, "This is my son, and I love him."
But then he gets all those threats from the religious leaders.
And he ignores them all and raises Lazarus to life.
That lousy Judas betrays him.
The religious leaders arrest him.
And I run away like a fool.
And Jesus is killed.
But he comes back to life.
And now we get to hang out with him.
I think he's got big plans. Did you hear how he told me at the lake to take care of his followers?
And what he said to us all on the mountain in Galilee.
About making new disciples?
Yeah. So you must go and make disciples of all nations. Baptize them in the name of the Father, and of the Son, and of the Holy Spirit. Teach them to obey everything I have commanded you, and you can be sure that I am always with you to the very end. Big job.
How do you remember all this stuff?
I record it.
You should write a book sometime.
I'm still not so sure about the Holy Spirit part.
Same.
But Jesus is here with us now. We can do anything while he stays with us.
Forever!
Ahead, Peter and Matthew and the other disciples could see Jerusalem in the distance, the temple rising above the other buildings.
He said to meet him back in Jerusalem.
For the Feast of Pentecost, probably.
That would be the perfect time for him to do something big. If he wants followers in all nations, that must mean we take over Israel first, right?
I don't know about the takeover part.
As Jesus' friends returned to Jerusalem, Jesus led them to a hill outside the city, near Bethany.
Nice view of the city from here.
I bet he's finally gonna give us all the big plan now.
He already did. Make disciples of all nations.
Yeah, but how? Is he gonna gather 50,000 people at Pentecost? Or maybe he'll take us all with him on an epic road trip?
He probably wouldn't have brought us all up here if he didn't have something big to say.
Sure enough, as they ate a meal on the side of the hill, Jesus told them,
"Do not leave Jerusalem. Wait for the gift my Father promised. In a few days, you will be baptized with the Holy Spirit."
There's the Holy Spirit thing again.
Peter couldn't take it anymore. He had to ask,
Lord, are you gonna give the kingdom back to Israel now?
Everyone stopped talking, then looked to Peter, then to Jesus, who shook his head.
You should not be concerned about times or dates. The Father has set them by his own authority. But you will receive power when the Holy Spirit comes on you. Then you will tell people about me in Jerusalem and in all Judea and Samaria. And you will even tell other people about me from one end of the earth to the other.
The disciples exchanged glances.
Okay, you did say the all nations part already, but where will you be?
And please, can you explain how the Holy Spirit's going to help us?
As Jesus smiled at his friends, he lifted his hands and spoke a blessing over them.
He's not answering the question.
As Jesus was speaking, something incredible happened. Slowly, he began to rise into the air.
He's standing in the air. How is he standing in the air?
Jesus' friends stared, mouths open. Soon, a cloud hid him from view, but they continued to gape.
Men of Galilee.
The disciples blinked and finally looked down to discover two tall men dressed in white standing right beside them.
Why do you stand here looking at the sky? Jesus has been taken away from you into heaven, but he will come back in the same way you saw him go.
Come back? Come back when?
But the men in white were gone.
He did say, don't be concerned about times or dates.
But he just gave us the biggest job ever. Tell everyone in the whole world about him? There's gotta be a plan.
The Holy Spirit. I think the Holy Spirit is the plan.
But we don't know what the Holy Spirit is.
Jesus said to wait in Jerusalem.
So, wait. That's the plan?
That's the plan for now.
Jesus gave his followers what seemed to be an impossible job. Share the story of Jesus and his love for every nation across the entire world. But soon, he gave them everything they needed to not only start the job, but keep going.
Just like the story said today, this month we're talking about determination, to deciding it's worth it to finish what you started, right? This means pushing through and being able to do what we go out to do, what we set out to do. And the verse that we have this month that goes along with this is from Galatians 6:9. And it says, "Let us not become tired of doing good. At the right time, we will gather a crop if we don't give up." Thank you guys so much for signing in, and have a great day.